This short video is intended to demonstrate the ability of To-Go to enable users to work with a wide variety of applications. As you can see, as I scroll through our dynamic navigation bar, there are a significant number of these applications that we can work with. However, in order to make life easy for users, we have the ability to define some of these applications as favourites. Here I am selecting the Favourites tab, and if I tap onto the SAP Fuel Deliveries dashboard tile, it's going to load that application for me. Here you can see the application ready for me to use. I can now go on and select an army base here in the UK. I'm going to select Colchester. This will enable me to then start to record deliveries of fuel into that depot. I'm going to record the delivery of gallons of diesel. I simply tap into the location here. I can enter the information I need, and then using the keyboard option, I can enter the value that I'm interested in. As you can see, it's now very easy for me to move on to the next delivery. In this particular instance, I'm going to record a delivery of some petrol, and this is going to be measured in litres. Here again, I can pop out the keyboard. This time I'll just tap with 2 fingers on the screen. That gives me the ability to now enter the amount directly from the keyboard. And you can see at the base of the screen the ability to actually see that measured in the gauges. At this point, I can end the delivery. I'm now going to step back and come back to our menu and pick up the second option, which is the fuel distribution process of the fuel management system. Here you can see that the system has drawn forward the details of the delivery recorded in the prior application. What I can now do is handle the distribution of this fuel. I can select a particular vehicle type. Let's select Land Rover. I can select a particular vehicle by its registration number. I can determine the date on when it drew fuel. What type of fuel? I'll leave it as diesel. And how many litres is it going to draw? And again, a double tap reveals the dashboard and the keyboard to give me the ability to now type in the fact that it drew 75 litres of fuel. When I commit that transaction, you will see that at the base of the screen appears a line in the statement, the audit trail of transactions. And I can now move on to the next vehicle. Here again, I might choose, for example, a different type of vehicle, a different registration, a different date, and a different quantity. And I can now commit that transaction as well, clearly shown at the base of the screen. This enables us to create an audit trail for the delivery of fuel into the different vehicles in this depot, and the same process could be repeated in different depots. We'll now move on to go to the third and final part of this demonstration, which is to look at the SAP Fuel Analytics application. And here you can find it here. The SAP Analytics Cloud. From there, we're just going to run up the SAP Fuel Management story, as it's called. But here you can start starting to build. I'll just draw your attention to a few things. First of all, at the top of the screen here you could see there are 4 filters to enable you to filter the content. So the first thing I can do is I can, for example, choose a specific year rather than all years. Let's assume I want 2021. And the data will now pivot, and that gives me the information specifically for 2021. If I tap on a column, I get the value shown in large. The other thing I can do is I can pivot the type of fuel, so I can switch between diesel and petrol. Again, the whole display changes, and I get to see the information that I need, for example, for specific fuel types. And then the last thing to show you is I have the ability to actually choose locations. And here are my locations coming up now. So I'm going to choose, for example, Lucas up in Scotland. And that again has actually pivoted the whole system and given me the ability to actually just look at Lucas as the example. For now, I will simply put the filters back to include all. And that is to show you that I can also move on, for example, in an additional analysis. So I can go from consumption to look at the way vehicles are actually being used. And here you can see a display of the number of different gallons per engine type that are in use, and the usage by the different vehicle types you might be able to see down here in the bottom left hand corner. So same principle applies again. If I want to go in and have a look at specific engine types, which are, for example, diesels, I merely select diesel. The screen refreshes, and I now have just the diesel information. Tapping on a column enables me to see that the most consumption in that sense is Land Rovers equipped with Perkins engines. If I now move on again and select the status analysis, this is now looking at across the locations, so I can see a series of locations here at the bottom in either gallons or litres, and then I could see different stages. So for example, let's go and have a look at the status which is not on deployment, but for example available to be deployed. And here you can see again the display changing, giving me the ability to look across this information. At any point I can simply come back to the menu, and I can, for example, select another option. Let's assume for a minute that I want to go and run another product. So I've gone off to run ClickView. I can step back from this process. My history enables me very quickly to be able to step backwards and forwards between the applications that I've historically been using, putting me back in the same location as I was when I was previously working.